Yo, what's good? What's good? How y'all doing this afternoon? This cold Saturday afternoon. How y'all doing? How are y'all doing out in the world today? Yeah, we are in the place to be. Good afternoon to my freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorillas in the building. Let me know you guys can hear me. Drop me a Romeo Lima Charlie if you guys can read me. If you guys know what that is, that means I'll read you loud and clear. Let me know if you guys heard the system audio, the music coming in. Hopefully you did. Playing with a little bit of little music or something. Um, Salute to the beautiful Black Spring of Autumn. Thank you for coming through. Always supporting. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I wanted to talk about this, right? Now, I never really paid attention to Nick Fuentes. I never really did. I mean, he's just a gas bag, right? Salute to Jacob. Here goes the weirdos. Anyway, Nick Fuentes is a gas bag who's full of himself. I appreciate you, Black Spring. Thank you so much. I don't know. I think that Nick Fuentes is a plant, right? And he was placed in position to espouse some wild shit, be inconsistent, right? And change with the wind, right? He changes with the wind. That's what I noticed. Never really consumed too much of his content in one sitting. I can't really tolerate the sound of his voice. I think he's like effeminate, very annoying in many ways. And every now and then he'll throw in some good points, but it's all like muddy, right? You ever heard of the muddy in the waters, right? When you're trying to make a position or make a point and no one really cares what you're saying because you say some crazy wild shit. Because you are trying to get a rise out of people. You're rage baiting basically. And this is what this guy does, right? Never really paid attention to him. Never really cared about covering his content. Because it's like, okay, he's just he's like the Ben Shapiro, a Catholic Ben Shapiro, right? I can't tolerate Ben Shapiro either. Yes, hit the like button, y'all. I can't see the likes. But I'm thinking if I have any disagreements, if anybody wants to disagree with what I'm saying about this cat, maybe I'll drop the link. Maybe I'll drop the link and allow the beautiful Black Spring with Autumn to come up here. Not allow, but you get what I'm saying. It's just and it's like a lot of people respect this dude. A lot of people respect him. A lot of men, for whatever reason, they follow his bullshit just like they follow many of the rest of them, right? The Myron Gaines, these dudes that the Brandon Tatums, he's kind of in that realm as well, right? And so he has a very specific view on women that I think is very interesting. Salute to the beautiful Orange Lily for you. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. At the end of the day, I think this dude might be a little floppy in the wrist. You know what I mean? Salute to Najee Savage. He says he's also the closest closet, but he's preaching nuclear families. I mean, he might be a rainbow rider who appreciates the nuclear family. I don't know. I think he's a rainbow rider personally. But, it is what it is. That's not really what this is about. Rainbow riders, you guys can go ahead and ride your rainbows and then turn and hop into your Transformers and all that, whatever the fuck you want to do. It is what it is, right? Just don't push that shit on the children, right? That's when I have a problem. When they push that shit on the children, Rainbow Story Hour and all this bullshit, get that out of here, right? But, you want to ride a rainbow? Hey, You want to get split down the middle by a rainbow? Handle your business. I'm not mad at that. That's just do what you do. Just stay away from me and my children with that nonsense. You understand what I'm talking about? But my biggest problem right now with Nick Fuentes and why I wanted to talk about this is the same reason I wanted to talk about it when Megyn Barely Legal Kelly, basically said the same bullshit. And where is the outrage? Where are the people calling for cats like Nick Fuentes and chicks like Megyn Kelly to be placed under a microscope? Who's holding these people accountable? Now, I'm not talking about censoring them. I'm not talking about, I don't believe in that shit. Let them talk. Let these people talk. Let them say what they have to say. That's the best way you can filter through whoever you want to deal with. That's the best way to do it. You don't want to hide these people. You don't want to censor them. You don't want to cut off their free speech. Salute to the brother Shelton in the building. Salute to you. The key thing about free speech is not only do you get to say whatever you want to say and express your opinion in any form or fashion that you want to express it, but you also get to hear opposing views, which is important because you want to have those conversations, right? And then at the same time, you get to hear who's full of shit, who is evil, essentially, who you don't want to deal with, who you want to keep your children from, right? At the end of the day, it's about protecting your children from the people that are very loud about what they believe, right? And so that's the importance of free speech. Free speech is very important for many reasons. But I don't want Nick Fuentes to get taken down. I want him to continue to speak. I want him to continue to get platformed. I want him to continue to get platformed by people who knows how this dude truly behaves and truly thinks. And when they do have him on their platform, instead of asking the real hard questions, like, why do you believe this? Why would you say that? Piers Morgan kind of did that, right? Piers Morgan did that. Piers Morgan made this dude look like an idiot, which he really is, right? If just listen to the dude talk, right? Somebody's feeding him talking points, just like most people out there that have a huge following and go viral. They get basically cue cards and they get talking points. They get topics that they're supposed to talk about, and they just spout the same shit, right? Very rarely in this space do you see anyone with an independent thought. Nick Fuentes doesn't like Trump. Maybe not, right? Richard Crosby says the most dangerous are the ones that smile in your face and hate you. I agree with that. I agree. Right? And that's a great point because someone like Nick Fuentes, he's not the dangerous one, right? I mean, he's not dangerous. Some of my, Orange Lily for you said, some of my former students had parents that were LMNOP. When they were mistreated, I had to address it as their teacher, as you should, right? You have to address it. That's your duty as a teacher, right? I'm not saying we should treat LMNOP any differently. Nick Fuentes made Piers Morgan look retarded. Then that's sad, right? If a Nick Fuentes can make you look retarded, you need to reevaluate your space. You need to evaluate your position in this space if he can make you look retarded, right? There are certain ways you can deal with these people. People like Nick Fuentes, right? They come with the same shit. It's always the same shit. They don't have an independent thought. And when you come from them from a different angle in a different realm that they're not even considering, they glitch, right? They glitch, they get mad, they launch ad hominems. They move the goalpost, they attack straw men. Orange Lily for you says, who's Nick? Great question. We're going to find out in a minute. He's a a viral guy on the right. He's a conservative racist motherfucker. He's racist. He's just, it is what it is. But see, my thing is, should he get any points for being an open racist when he tried to deny that he was racist on Piers Morgan, when he was confronted with his story about his parents, right, being racist? And then he's like, my parents are full of shit, bro. You racist? Oh, is your racist or is you ain't? Is your racist or is you ain't? Stand on your nuts. Stand on your nuts and be who you are. But see, people like that can't because they're manufactured. Red Dawn said we have to find a way to make Nick look like he doesn't know what he's talking about instead of going after his personal character. I'm glad you said that, because this is not what this is about, going after his personal character. It's about the dumb shit he says, right? The inconsistencies in the shit he says, how he pisses in the wind and changes with the wind and just goes with whatever he wants to go with. Nick makes himself look like he doesn't know what he's talking about. If you know what you're talking about, and if you know anything and have any common sense, you know Nick Fuentes does not know what he's talking about. In certain cases, right? Sometimes he'll say things that do make sense, right? When it comes to Zionism or whatever the case may be, sure. We might have some agreement there, right? Nick Fuentes is not all of that intelligent because racism is a mental illness. It's beyond that, right? Racism is beyond a mental illness. It's dangerous, right? Depends on how you exercise racism. I don't know what that means. Quidditch. I don't you understand the irony of flying brooms. Okay, you're talking about some Harry Potter shit. Good for you. Nonetheless, what we're going to do, I want to talk about this, right? Because he gets really upset with Donald Trump in this here. This is just a short, right? I can't tolerate too much of his voice. So this is his position some time ago when it comes to the Epstein files, right? When it comes to Epstein and Donald Trump and how he's handling that. Salute to Christine. I'm good. How are you? Christine Sherman, salute to you. Right? So let's see what he has to say, right?
You're not on board with the Epstein cover-up. And now he says, if you're not on board with the Epstein cover-up, I don't want your support. You're a weakling. Fuck you. You. You suck.
Yeah.
You are fat. You are a joke. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are.
And listen, because he opened the door, right, to personal attacks. Right, he called Donald Trump fat, stupid, all these different things. Didn't explain why it was a cover-up. Didn't say we had a problem. The problem he had with the cover-up. You just call him fat, stupid, and all these different things. Right, there might be more. Right, context. Right, we don't know what happened before or after this clip. I don't give a shit. Right. The point is, he's clearly upset with Donald Trump and the Epstein cover-up. Okay. Let's talk about that. Salute to the beautiful real eyes in the building. Yes, hit that like button. Double tap that screen. Yes, indeed. Please do that. Bonk said there are some crazy right-wing streamers being promoted directly by Trump administration like Higby, Nick Shirley. They all promote white replacement theory. Well, yeah. And they believe it. Salute to my brother Insane in the building at California Love, brother. Salute to you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they believe in that. But see, what they don't know is that they're excising themselves. That's what they don't know. And evolution, if you believe in evolution, then you understand what is recessive and what's not. What are the recessive genes? What are the ones that are going to be? So you got dominant genes, you got recessive genes, right? The dominant genes, well, they derive from adaptation, from, going through things, and certain shit dies out that isn't relevant, that isn't going to make it, right? That isn't suited for the environment that is coming through. It is what it is. We ain't got nothing to do with that, right? That's natural selection, if you want to call it that. But the last little woman I got with had a vagina that looked like 2 raw pieces of bologna rolled up. Congratulations. And you probably smashed anyway. Anyway, so let's listen to what the guy is saying.
You are, and honestly, and if you watch my show, I've been very critical. I've never been fuck you. Fuck you. You suck.
Yeah.
You are fat. You are a joke. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are. You are, and honestly,
bye, hearing bye. Salute to you. Salute to the queen. Thank you for coming through. Look at this guy. Who watches this guy and doesn't get annoyed by looking at him? All these faces. Well, if we do this and we do that, well, the fat, he's not funny. He's doing this and that and this. All this shit with his face. Like, what is going on here? Well, if I do this and that. That's all I see when I talk to this motherfucker. When I listen to this dude talking, that's what I see. It is what it is. What was it? What was it? I have no idea. I can't get with it. But people take this dude seriously. Mutations and adaptations. Absolutely. You can also get inbred genes from being pinned in a small area. Yeah, they'll die out. That happens in nature all the time when you don't have any biodiversity, right? When you have biodiversity, the dominant genes rule out. And what do we have now? We have biodiversity among the human race. And when you more of that, like the swirling, right? The more swirl you get, the less blonde hair, blue eyes you get. You understand what I'm talking about? It ain't got nothing to do with black folk. If your woman choose up, they choose up. You understand what I'm talking about? They choose up. Ain't nothing. Don't blame us for that shit. It is what it is, the replacement. No, nature is replacing. If there is a species or a subspecies or a race of a species getting replaced, that's nature, right? We are not the eugenicists. Melanated folk are not the eugenicists. Who are the eugenicists? The white folks, right? The Margaret Sangers and them. They are the eugenicists. We're not trying to we trying to mind our own goddamn business. Anyway, it is what it is. Oh, y'all are saying hi to each other. Salute to the beautiful real eyes. Suburban Cannon says, how does releasing these files mitigate the fact that multiple FBI directors and DOJ heads have seen the files and did nothing? That's a great question. I talked about that. I talked about why didn't the Biden administration release the files? That's my question. Because they don't want to. See, this is bigger than Trump. Everybody's trying to make this about Trump and right-wingers. That's a very, very dangerous road to go down. Right? If you ignore or you focus more on one side than the other, then that's very dangerous. They can get shit by you, right? The other side that's also part of the problem, they're going to get their shit by. What's funny, Christine? Nick Fuentes? Whatever his trip is, I appreciate him talking shit. Not many right-wing types would have the balls to question the cult. Is that what he's doing? He might be doing that right now. Nigga's a short little idiot. Goofy guy's a moron, and no one takes him seriously. A lot of people take him seriously. That's a mistake to think that he's not being taken seriously, because he is. Why they running to space to stay white? What? Impeach the dictator, Nazi lover, pedo president. No question should go unasked. I tend to agree. My question is, or I would ask, or I would say, let's be consistent at the same time, right?
And if you watch my show, you know I've been very critical. I've never been this far. This just goes to show this entire thing has been a scam.
A scam.
When we look back on the history of populism in America, we are going to look back on the MAGA movement as the biggest scam in America.
And he's probably right about that.
American history. And the liberals were right. The MAGA supporters were had. They were. And now he says, if you're not on board with the Epstein.
So that was that, right? He might be right. He is right. It is a scam. MAGA is a scam. Sprinkle some truth in there while you're shilling, while you're whatever the fuck you call them things where you're doing shit just for money or whatever the fuck. Go ahead. I'm sick of politics. It's demonic. It's not the politics. It's the people in the positions that display or that behave as though they're doing political shit, right? It's the people. There's nothing wrong with politicking as long as it's honest, upfront, voluntary, and as small as possible, right? The smallest level of government possible is going to be the least corrupt and the more accountable. The bigger it gets, the less accountable it'll be, right? The more people involved, the more regions and states and all that, you try to lump them up under one central government. The people that you put in charge to rule over you are going to be less accountable, right? Oh yeah, MAGA was about Zionism. It's not just MAGA though. We have to get out of this. We should get out of this frame of thinking where, oh, it's the left or the right. No, there are leftist Zionists, there are rightist Zionists, there are independent Zionists, and they're all over the place. They're all Zionists. What they're doing is they are presenting you a left-right dialectic, like my beautiful queen, Black Spring with Autumn would say, or a left-right paradigm. They present that to you. They give you bread and circuses, right? They create division. They put you in these cults. They make you choose. Oh, are you in the leftist cult or the rightist cult? Are you an independent cultist member who has to caucus with the left or the right? So even if you're independent and you're in government, you got to caucus with one side or the other. You can't go off on the island by yourself. You're not going to get anything done. So either you get nothing done within the government that we have, the system that we have. Either you join the government, be the outlier, get nothing done, or you caucus with the rest of them. You caucus with the left or the right, and guess what happens? You get what they want done. Yeah, that's how that works. But we heard it. We heard Nikki, little Nikki. You know what I mean? We heard what he said, right? Donald Trump is covering up the Epstein files. Yeah. He's upset about it. Yeah. He's upset. He thinks it's a problem. So clearly he has a problem with Epstein, right? Wouldn't he have a problem with Epstein if you're calling it a cover up? You have a problem with the Trump administration covering it up. Okay. So then you have a problem with Epstein. You think that what he was doing is a problem. You're making a big deal out of Donald Trump covering up the Epstein situation, right? You think that's very important. That's what it sounded like to me. Like I said, though, I don't really consume his content. So maybe somebody can tell me what's going on. Somebody said they're a Christian. As long as you live righteous, man, as long as you live righteous and mind your own business and don't try to harm other people and try to live the best life you can, I can roll with whatever you believe. You can believe whatever you want. I have no problem with it. Operate within whatever faith you want. As long as at the end of the day, you mind your own goddamn business, right? That's really what this is about. By hearing by says that post. Little Nicky just want to grind. That's all he want to do. Yeah, that is. And the poor have no representation. They never will. Not from them. The best representative for you. Can somebody tell me who their best representative is? Tell me who your best representative is going to be. I'm talking about adults, adult individuals. Who is going to be your best representative? Anybody tell me? The question I have for anyone that claims they are Christian and a supporter of Israel, where does the Talmud say Jesus Christ spends eternity? You're going to have to tell me. I don't read the Talmud. I'm guessing, I don't know, HE double hockey 6? Orange Lily for you says, I definitely feel like I need a bigger hammer now. Yes, hit that like button, y'all. I can't see the likes. So, but I'm going through the honor system now. You guys, he'll probably go on Grindr later. Probably. Exactly, Black Spring Autumn. You are your best representative. Not somebody in DC. They're not going to represent you. Yes, our sovereign self, by hearing and hearing by. Absolutely. Your best representative is going to be you. Your best defender is yourself. No one cares about your own best interest more than you do. No one is going to vehemently and diligently and jealously defend your own sovereignty better than you. So why do we look to these people to do that very thing? They're not going to. At the end of the day, they're just going to go. My son is silly. They're going to go, and the lobbyists are going to be in their face. They're going to throw their money around, and at the end of the day, that's who's going to get represented. Jesus was pretty clear about this message, and it blows my mind how his words can be used for evil purposes. Yeah, well, that's what people do, right? Two historical figures throughout time, yeah, they take their words and they use them for however they want to. Man's laws over God's laws will never make America great. Wake up, people. This is true, right? Depending on what you believe God is, right? It's up to each individual to determine whether they believe in a God or not, and who that God is and what that God wants. If I were a religious person, I would not be, I don't know. Let's say I believe in God. Let's say I believe in a creator that created all the things. I have no concept. I can't even imagine what it would be like to know what God wants, who he is, and try to understand what his agenda is. I can't even imagine hearing his voice, what his voice would sound like. I can't even imagine looking God in the eyes. I can't imagine anything about God. So if God exists, you have no concept of God. That's my position. And if you did, well, your mind would explode. That's what I believe. If you had any understanding of God to any degree at all, you would no longer need to exist in this realm. You would no longer need to exist here. If you reach that level of understanding, guess what happens? In my opinion, why am I here? I have experienced God like no one has ever experienced God. I understand things because of that no other human could ever understand. This plane of existence no longer necessary for me to exist on. So that's just my opinion about God. Yes, double tap that screen, y'all. Thank you, Real Eyes, for that. He wants a relationship with his mind and soul, with us in mind and soul. See, that's where you lose me, because you can't, in my opinion. Someone that created the heavens and the earth, you can't have a relationship with him. If you have a relationship with him, you're not in this plane of existence. You're gonna be like, well, I don't need to be here anymore. I have a relationship with God. That means my consciousness has arisen to the degree where this physical form, I don't even need it, right? And it's not death. Some people call it ascension. Some people call it nirvana. That's what I believe. Hold on, guys. God, girl, what's up? Go ask your mother. They never want to ask their mother. Girl, listen, I'm doing something. Hold on, guys. I don't know why you gotta do this. Someone says, not this clown again. Yet you're here in my chat. If you're talking about me, you're here in my chat. Writing in my chat. Trying to get the attention of this clown. So what does that make you? What are we talking about here? No human can truly understand God. That's what I believe. You know we love our daddies. That's what's up. Yeah. No, she ain't coming in here to show me some love. She asking for some chips. Girl. Asking for chips. But she does love me, though. She loves me. Salute to Real Sheldon. He says a weirdo. God made zillions of earths for everyone. Yeah, I don't believe that they can. So, we heard Nick Fuentes go in on Donald Trump, right? For cover-ups and shit like that. You know, he's so outraged. He's doing all these facial movements. Well, when I do this, I don't understand why you're covering this up. Okay, we're going to do this and that, and I'm going to go over here. Like, what's up with this, dude? What's with the super animated facial expression? Do we have to do all that? I think that is like a sign of a mental deficiency, in my opinion. You can't control your facial face. You can't control your face. You got Novocaine. What's going on here? You spasming when you talk? Is that an automatic feature of your face? Automatic facial features. Crazy. I can't take him seriously, but there's people that do. So let's see what he's talking about now. Right? Because or Lily Few says Nick sounds like he's inhaled helium and looks like he snorted an 8-ball. But what he said was true. Yeah, what he said in that first video was true. Let's look at this one. Because remember, he's outraged, right? Donald Trump was covering up the Epstein shit. Okay. Then we understand what Jeffrey Epstein is and what he did, right? We know what he did we know the blackmail stuff he did, right? We know what he did to get, in the position he's in. We know he worked with the Mossad and all these different things, and he was a power broker. He was in the blackmail ring, getting people into some shit, right? I feel like we are each an entire universe. Yes, on a quantum level, yes. On a quantum level, you probably have many universes within your body if you go down to the quantum level. Bill and Hillary are refusing to testify. No surprise there. You won't find very many people. Not very many people will testify outside of the victims. So let's see what he's talking about. Let's see what he's talking about now. Oh, wrong one. I showed that one already. Let's do this. Let's see. Remember, Donald Trump is covering up the Epstein file situation. So he clearly has a problem with what Epstein did, right? So what is he talking about here? What was it? Let's see.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't.
What is he doing with his hands in his face? I'm waiting for a neck roll, y'all. Is it really a pedo thing? Is it really a pedo thing? Like, really? Flop wrist mother. Listen. Is it really a pedo thing? He's talking about Epstein. The same Mickey Ficky he said had files that Donald Trump was covering up. What is he talking about now? What was it?
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to.
What? Is it really pedophilia? Well, what are we doing here?
To say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it.
But I guess I'm being forced to say it. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Men think that he's got something going. Okay. We're sad. It's a sad situation.
It's not really pedophilia, okay?
It's not really pedophilia. Okay. I'm waiting for him to go, oh, like he might as well just go ahead and do that. What are we talking about? You was just going in on Trump. Real Shelter says Mickey Ficky sounds like a BET cuss word bleep. It does. But what are we talking about? This man was just shitting on Trump for covering up the Epstein files. What are we doing? If we take the quantum computer 200,000 qubits, we will be able to store and process more data than there are atoms in the universe. Absolutely. And I have been watching a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson, Star Talk. I'm fascinated by that stuff, astrophysics and all that type of shit. I'm fascinated by it. I didn't do well enough to school. I'm a high school dropout. Went to youth camp and all that shit. And I did eventually get my GED, but I'm fascinated by that. And I didn't like how Neil deGrasse Tyson was pushing the vaccine and pushing the propaganda about COVID-19. I didn't like that. I did some videos about that, and I called him Neil the Ass Tyson because he was just being retarded. Here you have a scientist who dismissed all kinds of science, scientific method, to tell you guys that you should go get a jab with a substance that has not gone through any testing, not any significant sufficient testing. Anyway, let's keep going with this. Don't get me down that road. Salute to Latressa Montgomery. Salute to you. Yes, he's a freaking genius who was acting like an asshat during COVID. But I like him again. He's brilliant. I like watching this shit. Like, it just, it reminds me of the concept that I have for the universe I'm creating in my fictional universe that I'm creating, which I published the book, by the way, the first book of the entire saga that will consist of things that are happening in the universe I created. Anyway, but let's go back to this.
They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. They
were technically not legal. You hear this shit? Do you hear this? Technically not legal? What does that mean? Now, Megyn Kelly said they were barely legal. Now you got this twat saying that technically not legal. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Right? What are we easing into society now? What is this language? Huh? Yes, thank you, Black Spring Autumn. She dropped the link to my book in the chat. Y'all can go ahead on Amazon and check that out. Boladine says Epstein file is not about Epstein did. Epstein was already in jail. It's about that's the whole point. That's why we want to know who they were. Yes. Yes. Y'all grab a copy of the book if you guys so choose. Yes. Thank you, Black Spring with Autumn. Yo, salute to my brother. I am Chair Will in the building. Salute to you, brother. Hey, y'all go check his channel out as well. This guy is sharp. But I don't know. Some of y'all might not be ready. But what is this dude talking about? He was just shitting on the Trump administration for covering up the Epstein files. Now you're saying that you're just downplaying and dismissing what Epstein did. That's what we're doing because the girls were technically not legal. This is the type of bullshit that convinces me that there are very few real ones out there. Now this guy is out here doing the Megyn Kelly, which is trying to downplay pedophilia, which is just what it is. I don't care what you're talking about. Ephebophilia, pabubophilia. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. Right? Now we want to try to compartmentalize the depravity, right? Well, you know, he wasn't 5-year-old depraved. He was just 13-year-old depraved. What are we talking about? What was it? How is this a thing? The brother Shelton says, I'm from Mississippi, so I can't read. Oh, that's funny. Comparing them to 5-year-old. Yes, Amaya. There's no real ones. Je vous en prie. No problem. Yeah, je vous en prie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no problem. This is the guy, right? He's the one. He's the leader of the new school, right? This is what they're putting in front of y'all as the leader of the new school. A guy that says that, hey, it wasn't like he was trafficking 5-year-olds. Well, how do you know that? How do you know he wasn't trafficking 5-year-olds? Do you have the Epstein files to show the millions and millions of papers and documentation and videos and pictures? What are we talking about? Do you have access to these files? Nick Fuentes? Do you? I think it's not. I think it's not. So what are we saying?
Yeah, big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take.
It's just a distinction without a difference, right? Children are children. Children are children. Okay, so let's talk. Let's use a little bit of elementary here, right? Let's go elementary, as Sherlock Holmes would say. Sure, a 5-year-old and a 13-year-old are not going to play on the same softball team. They're not going to play on the same basketball team. They're not going to get on the same rides at the carnival. They're not going to be able to, right? There's differences, right? There are differences there. They're not going to be able to get on the same roller coaster. Sure. The 5-year-old can get on, they both can get on a teacup though, right? So when it comes to certain things, there is no difference. Okay, so the 5-year-old can't get on the big upside down roller coaster, but the 13-year-old can. But they can both get on the teacup. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to victimizing children in any way, form, or fashion, there is no difference. But there is a distinction. But there's no difference. They are trying to make differences in the realm of child sexual abuse. And they're not going to stop. You see, Megyn Kelly was talking about 8 or 9-year-olds. He took it down to a 5-year-old, right? A 5-year-old and someone who's technically not legal. That's what he said. This is what we got going on here, y'all.
But that's not really the issue there.
That's not the issue.
Okay. The issue is not that they were barely legal teens.
What is this quote? What are these quotations? Now there's a quotation. What is this? Get this shit out of here. Maybe we'll check this out. I don't know. This just popped up. But help me understand. Really? That's not what this is about? This ain't about Epstein trafficking children. That's not about that. No. That's not what this is about. Oh, it's no longer what it's about, but you were just bitching and moaning about Donald Trump covering up the Epstein files, right? You can't stand Megan. I can't stand her ass either.
Legal teens.
What is this? What is this?
What it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax.
Relax. This is coming from a man who will probably never have children because he don't know where to put the little Willie. Okay? This is a guy who, he's probably a virgin. Only a virgin would talk like that. A virgin who, and he's probably not even, let me tell you something. Nick Fuentes strikes me as somebody who is not even sexual, but we'll see what this is. I think I'm curious of what this is talking about. But I think that a cast like Nick Fuentes are asexual, right? They're not interested in sex at all. Oh, I'm sure Will says he's a virgin. Man, how did I call that? Only a virgin who's never experienced the gushy would have this state of mind. That's it. That's the problem. He need to go get him some gushy, but I don't know if he can make it happen because you have to be able to get a woman in the place to have the gushy. Yeah, I don't know if he can do that. But the bottom line is, real men don't talk like this, but he purports himself to be a real man. He ain't one. He probably has a doll. Absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely not. I don't think he even wants anything. I just don't think he does. My brother, I'm sure will. I might be dropping the link in a little bit. I don't know. I ain't got that much time though. He admitted it on the podcast. What didn't he say that on Piers Morgan, right? I think I remember him saying that. I don't remember. The PAB is like 5'2". What does that mean? Crazy work. But this is, I mean, this is crazy. Look at his hand. He was caught washing transport. I heard about that. Crazy work. But, you know, hey, he's the leader of the new school, right? He is the leader of the new conservative party. This is what y'all got. This is as good as it's going to get, y'all. Crazy work.
No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy.
The issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy.
Probably working with Israel. That's the dilemma there. He's working with Israeli intelligence.
Oh, what happened? See,
I thought I'd do an explainer on being.
Man, just because I talked about you don't mean that you get to pop up. What the hell? Hold on, killer. This is not what's supposed to happen. Hold on, y'all. No explainers right now, Neil. We're not talking about you. I ain't trying to get no copyright strike. Hell no. They'll
this
hit
whole
my ass
pedo
up.
thing, it's
Pedo thing. Do we hear this? 5'2". That's crazy work. I don't know, but you said that PAB. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Ken Garjay says, I mean, the man even said marriage was a man and woman is gay. Like, need I say, he said it was gay? He said marriage between a man and a woman is gay? What? Wow. I mean, what was it? What are we talking about? Why is he a thing? What does that mean? Marriage between a man and a woman is gay? Yeah, I can't make heads or tails of it myself. But there you go, guys. The reason I wanted, like I said, I wasn't really interested in this guy. But when he said that, and he's going viral quite often. Oh, he said sex with a woman is gay, which is crazy. Because he's never had it. What? He's never had sex with a woman. How did you say that? That doesn't even make sense. There is no logical reason to say that. He is an incel, Trill. Once you had the gushy, it just, there's no turning back. Black people protects black rapists all the time in jail. Black people protects black rapists in jail. Oh boy, this is crazy. Do you know the distinction? Do you know the important part of that comment that you just made? Do you know what? Can somebody point out the important part of this here comment? Well, let's bring this home, shall we? Can someone tell me? Somebody tell me what about this comment completely kills this dumbass comment. Ken J says, yeah, like Snap, this is a dude that says a lot of controversial stuff. Like Nick is a walking satirical for a white nationalist. That's what I believe. But a lot of people take him seriously. They follow this dude. I think he's just an annoying piece of shit who makes all these facial expressions when he's, well, I do this and that, and I don't know what you're saying, but I want to do this and that. Black people in Chicago, like, dude, fucking relax. No one wants to see your face doing all that. Yes, Latressa, the rapist is in jail. The rapist is in jail, protected or not. What are you talking about? And rapists don't typically get protected in jail. They typically, when they get found out what they did, and they did anything like that, they get taken out. They get taken out for the most part. This guy says, you too geeked up to be talking about politics. I don't even know what that means. I have no, what does that even mean? Is this a trans Obama? Sure, pal. He got plucked in the forehead too many times. Something like that. Yeah. So let's see. I'm interested to see what's going on with this here. What was he talking about?
Nicholas J. Fuentes is an American neo-Nazi.
Okay, what do you?
Can
No, I can't.
I'm not against grooming. Adolescent
What?
puberty.
You hear this shit? I'm not against grooming.
The right is, in a perverse way, adopting the left's. I'm not against
commentary in the meantime, just so you can soak it all in.
We're just against sexual propaganda and grooming. You know what? I'm going to say something.
You know what? What is this? What? You know, these people, they hate black folks so much, but they love black folks. They got to do the black movement. They got to do all this. But you know what? They want to be us so bad. They want the swagger. They want all that shit. What is the problem? Just ask us, like, man, how do you get that? Well, how do I achieve the coolness of the blackness? How do I achieve that? Well, it's just not in you, buddy. It's just not in you. You can do your best. Just relax. Just be yourself. It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing you can do, right? You can try to have babies with a black woman, and then maybe your children and your children's children will adopt some of that, but it just ain't gonna happen. Well, you know what? What are we talking about? Can't guard Jay says, I mean, he can't even say stuff with a straight face whenever he never has a straight face. He's always doing all this shit. Like his whole face is animated for no reason. Why are you talking about races like you don't have a whole month to yourself? Crazy work. What are you talking about? What is your point? Nonsensical statements. Do you have anything of substance to say? Yeah, are you going to defend this guy? You got something to say about this? I don't think so, pal. Anyway.
Controversial. I'm not against grooming. Adolescent puberty, the right is in a perverse way adopting the left's paradigm on sexuality, where they're saying, don't sexualize our kids. They got to be 18. And I've been on this crusade about age of consent unintentionally over the last couple of weeks. They get out of college when they're 22, 23, then they think about marriage. Sorry, no, we don't want that.
Love the content. Absolutely inevitable.
Crazy. This is the man, y'all.
Good guy here. Yeah.
Look at him.
Well, they're hotter.
That's really funny. Hey, can't hate. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't hate the player, hate the gang. They love blackness. They love blackness. These racist motherfuckers, they love it. I'm not defending. I'm just saying you see a Jew History Month or what an idiot. Are we talking about Black History Month? What is the problem? You want a month? All right. Let's make these white people in small hats a month. Anybody got a month for them? Come on, let's pull a rabbit out of a hat. Let's fold up some papers, put it in a hat. Yeah, you want a month? Go ahead. Have a month. Or is it, yeah, right? Salute the lunatic libertarian.
I cannot hate. Good for you, buddy. Maybe you'll find your wife there.
Good guy here. Yeah.
Good for you, buddy. Maybe find your wife there.
Well, they're hotter.
Based. Let's fucking go. That's why we love him. That's why we love this guy. When the Holy Spirit selected Mary, did the Holy Spirit go, let's look for a mature woman that I have something in common with? Did a person of the Trinity go around and say, I need to find one of those mature women that is smart and has common interests and things in common with me? Or did the Holy Spirit go and say, how old was the Virgin Mary? I think she was she wasn't 18. I'll say that much. Certainly wasn't 18. You know what I expect? A fertile womb. A fertile womb and a sort of innocent, childlike spirit. All these people in the chat, dude, just stop. Shut up. If you're, I'm banning people. If you're telling me to stop.
If you're telling me to stop sounding like a creepo, I'm going to ban you. Wild work. Why are you platforming this weak human being? Me? Because I'm pointing out how his hypocrisy, how he's protecting and downplaying pedophilia. That's why I'm doing that, lunatic. I'm doing this because people need to see this. Yes, I'm going to show the nonsensical statements, just like I did with Megyn Kelly, right? Downplaying what Epstein did, talking about this and that and the bullshit. Yeah. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to put it out there because people need to see it. It is what it is. This guy gets to run around saying that he believes in grooming and, 18 is not really younger than 18. I believe in grooming. Yeah, people need to see this shit. Yeah. People are upholding this guy like he's some type of intelligent, smart guy. He's this and that. Yeah, I'm platforming him. Sure. Oh, poor you. Oh, y'all are obsessed with black folks. Obsessed. You are obsessed with black people. What is this? Y'all can't get us off your mind, can you? You can't. Get off the plantation, ignorant, dumbass clowns. Here we go. I'm talking about a PDF file protecting supporter who believes in grooming children. And this is what you're saying. Wild work. Anyone that points that high in the air while uttering womb is gay. Gay is all outdoors. Facts. Yeah, there are always going to be people like Nick, and you got to point them out each and every time. Yeah. People won't preach his people won't watch his content if he preaches the Bible. Okay. We all know Nick is a joke, but this has crossed the line, and there's hear a man like this where y'all beat. Yeah, he's crazy. Has no self-security. He's called the state to protect himself and his family. Yeah, because he doesn't want he's getting on board. He's getting on board with, distracting from the Epstein files. Before he was calling out Donald Trump for covering up the Epstein files. And now he's saying that Epstein wasn't a PDF file. This asshat, Toast Been Taken, says this dude actually a PDF. Why are you talking about yourself? Turn yourself in, brother. Go ahead and turn yourself in. You ain't got to tell us. Tell the Popo that you a PDF. The only proof any president with any child so far is Joe Biden sniffing kids and taking a shower with his daughter. Okay? Yeah. Yep. And guess what? If that's true, he needs to be punished for it as well. I don't give a fuck about a left or a right. Yeah, y'all come in here thinking I'm a lefty or a righty or any of that bullshit. No, I don't fucks with that shit. Yeah, you won't catch me being a Republican, a Democrat, none of that. Yes, Joe Biden is a creep, in my opinion. And guess what? This, bruv, I say one thing and you being a bench. What an asshat. It is all weird. We need to see the weird shit. That's the point, right? We need to see it. But of course, you got people that are coming here and try to distract from it. You know what I'm saying? 89% of the crimes against children are perpetrated by white men. Yeah, I think I gotta look into that. It's pretty high though. Pretty high. This dude's obsessed. Anyway.
You're gone. Bye. Fuck you. I'm out here free thinking, okay? And if I've got weird sexual interests, and if I'm dropping these red pills on you, you're going to shut up and stop, dude, just stop. Why? What, am I scaring the hoes?
What am I scaring the hoes? Dude, just stop, bro. You don't even, what is this dude? Sheldon said that's a damn lie anyway. That's some bullshit they say as a distraction. Absolutely.
Good. Fuck them hoes. Okay.
Fuck them hoes.
Okay. You want to go to the Correct Opinion show? Go watch TV, and you can watch all the Correct Opinions havers tell you about how they want same-aged wives, and they want to talk about their interests, and they want to do normal, not weird things. Okay. Abundant, plenty of 30-year-old fish in the sea for you guys, okay? Because I'm in the shallow end of the pool. Because I'm in the pool.
What a fucking idiot. This is your hero. This is your king. The racism focusing getting crazy. Dude's obsessed. Obsessed. You don't even have to be here, but here you are. Here goes another one. 77 viewers, you little girl. Y'all are corny as hell. Y'all are corny as hell. I bet y'all motherfuckers can go 2 years without eating one kernel of corn and still shit a toilet bowl full of corn. That's how corny you motherfuckers is. Here goes another homoerotic idiot that wants me to be gay because he's attracted to me. You're attracted to me. Yeah. That's why you're saying gay, because you want me to be gay because you're gay. That's not how that works. Projecting your gaydom onto straight men does not make that straight man gay and make them want you. That's not how that works. Go find an actual gay man and y'all can go and give each other anal prolapse. Okay? Go ahead and handle that. I ain't the one. Salute to my brother Anarchy in the building, dropping that $10 super chat. He says, hello there. Nick just needs to just shut up. Professional Mexican activities. I'm good, brother. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for dropping that super chat. Yeah. Anyway.
The shallow end of the pool.
I'm on the shallow end of the pool.
Looking for
What the
them
fucking
hoes that can't
douchebag.
swim.
People,
No, bitch.
people
I want
fuck
to
with
drink
this
it
dude.
straight from the tap. I want it raw. I don't want to wait a moment. Right when the milk is good, I want to start drinking the milk. Same thing goes with women. I don't want to turn 30 and find some 20-year-old, 29-year-old woman that I have something in common with. And it's like, hey, properly aged like wine. Women don't age like wine. They age like milk. They don't age like wine. That's not how their hormones work. That's not how they work. Yeah, I gotta find.
This dude don't know shit about women. Nothing. But he's gonna tell you what women age like. He ain't even touched a woman. He ain't touched the titty. He ain't touched an ass. He ain't rubbed a beautiful, smooth, nice, beautiful chocolate leg. He has never done any of that. How he gonna tell you how women age like? He ain't. You don't even, motherfucker. Please, which way a pussy go? This way or that way? That's what I would ask him if I saw him. Which way a pussy go? This way or that way? That's what I would ask him. Or is literally absolutely? I do know. Absolutely. Which way it go? Mm-hmm. Do women pee out of their butt? He probably thinks women pee out of their booties. You don't know shit about women talking about, oh, they age like milk. Oh, they age like milk. Oh, shut the fuck up, dumbass. You don't know shit about women. But this is the guy that y'all rock with. Y'all come in here with your gay shit, trying to project your gaydom onto me. It ain't gonna work. Yeah, we're gonna, this motherfucker right here, go to him and tell him you want to lick his balls. He'll probably let you. Not me.
My 16-year-old wife. Probably when I turn 30 or something. Because here's the thing. I don't want to be like, let's say I get married to an 18-year-old now. 6-year age difference. When I turn 40, she's going to be 34. Ew. What if I'm 30?
This motherfucker said, ew. Crazy work. Flying guillotine in the building. Salute to my brother. Coochie water good for your skin. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hallelujah. He ain't never smelled a coochie. He didn't even get close enough to a coochie. She says everywhere. Orange lily for you. You know I ain't talking about that. This guy don't know what every which way means. No. But I know what you're talking about. For sure, for sure. I love me some nice little juicy coochie anyway. What's with the sexually charged insults? He turned you on, little man. Y'all love projecting your own bullshit onto me. Well, I don't know why y'all do that. But it's obvious. I'm flirting with a woman right here. See this? That's what I'm doing. I'm talking about things you'll never understand to a woman who does understand. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm saying he don't know what a coochie look like. Y'all can be mad. Now I'm talking about your boyfriend. They are crazy. Republicans are traitors to America and the Constitution. The government is the traitors. The entire government are traitors to the people they're supposed to represent and act on the behalf of. So, Republicans, Democrats, fuck all of them. That's how I roll. Fuck a Republican, fuck a Democrat, fucking independent, fucking motherfucking, fuck a libertarian. All them motherfuckers. Yeah. They want the government to run your life as though the government has your best interests at heart. Fuck them all. That's how I roll. Left not recognizing their irony is always funny. Tell that to a leftist. Even Fuentes said fuck Trump, but still coming from a Nazi. No, well, he said fuck Trump, but then he goes and says Epstein was not a pedophile. But that was after he got on Donald Trump for covering up the Epstein situation. Make it make sense. Republicans are pedophile protectors. So are Democrats. The Democrats could have had the Epstein files released during the Biden administration. And I don't want to hear no bullshit about, oh, well, they was doing the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. They was investigating Ghislaine. No, that shit was over at the end of the first year of his term. They had 3 years to release those Epstein files. Nobody said shit about it. Nobody said nothing about an Epstein file during the Biden administration. Fuck them. Point blank in the period. Yeah. My brother Anarchy drops another super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, G drops $10. He says, daily gospel post, faith in Christ alone saves. He died on the cross to pay for all our sins, past, present, and future. The will of God is for us to believe in Jesus and what he did on the cross. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That a man like that exists. If a man that like that exists, you know, it can't be mad at it. The real Shelton says all of you had to do is be white and you qualify to lead. These races are lemmings. Absolutely. They always will be. Flying Guillotine says people don't get what a PSYOP is. Takes years to build. Absolutely. This dude is a PSYOP. They're all part of it, right? All these motherfuckers at the end of the day are really not going to care about the Epstein files. He's having this position because he knows it's never going to happen, right? He knows them Epstein files ain't coming out. And you pulling things out of context. I didn't do shit. I didn't make this video. I'm pulling things out of context. I get tired of that out of context shit. Miss me with that out of context bullshit that you're talking about right now. I'm not pulling shit out of context. I didn't make this video.
He's 16.
This shit is coming out of his mouth.
When I turn 40, she's going to be 30. Let's say I get married to a 18-year-old now.
Mm-hmm.
6-year age difference. When I turn 40, she's going to be 34.
Ew.
Well, if I'm 30 and she's 16, 14-year age difference. When I'm 50, she'll be 36. When I'm...
What context do you need? What context do you need? He's talking about marrying a 16-year-old at 30. What context? What context do you need? Sometimes you don't need context. Sometimes what a motherfucker says is what a motherfucker says. What context do you need? The context is he doesn't believe that grown-ass men should get with grown-ass women. He thinks grown-ass men should get with children because they'll be young when they're old. Get them young, baby. That's his context. He said the shit, not me. I didn't. He said this. Oh, you're pulling things out of context. A very lazy defense. Very lazy. Yeah, gropers are low key. I didn't even know what a groper was. It's not. It's also not racism. It's hate for a culture. Salute to Anarchy Television in the building. Susan, my brother, Anarchy. Anarchy says seeing someone defend Epstein is disgusting. That's what he did. Bro is mad that Nick pulls 5,000 subscribers. Why would I be mad about that? Why would I be mad about that? I'm not tap dancing like this motherfucker. Now, if I had aspirations to get to the point where I had 5,000 subscribers and I wanted to do it his way, sure, I would have 10,000 subscribers. I would have 10,000 if I was willing to do what he did. I would have 10,000. Believe that to a tree that. If I tap danced and grifted and shielded like this douchebag and was backed by the CIA, allegedly, yeah, I would have 10 or 20. Because I have more gravitas than this dude. Look at this dude. I'm supposed to be feeling some type of way. I don't give a fuck about how many subscribers or viewers he has. That's not what this is about. This is about him saying, hold on. I guess I got to go back to it. Because some of y'all were not here. How about this? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess this whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there, okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens.
Barely legal teens.
Yeah. What it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax.
That's your man's.
No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jew.
That's your man's. Yeah. But you're telling me about 5,000 subscribers, of which I don't give a shit about. I don't give a shit about none of that. Sheldon says, who gives a fuck about subscribers? No, nobody. But you're in my comment section to bitch and complain about me wanting to have 5. What are you talking about? Pure idiocy. Someone called me an idiot. Sure. Right. I have grown since the amazing idiot, right? Yeah, dude didn't even want to fight me. I called his monkey ass out. Oh, I was gonna beat up the Hodge twins and the Chinese guy, whatever the fuck. Act like he's about to beat up the Hodge twins. Fuck out of here. But you wouldn't come to the Culver City Overlook and square up with me. But you're gonna fight 2 6'5" dudes and another guy. Okay, pimpin', sure. The amazing clown shoes are full of shit. Did you know SpongeBob address is on Epstein Island? That's crazy. Did not know that. Nope. Did not know that. But it makes sense. Yes, the children need protection. And that's ultimately what this is about. They're not going to get the protection they need because cats like that are going to be the ones that get they're going to get the most traction. They're going to have the most influence. And they're going to try to convince people that a 13-year-old, 14, 15, 16-year-old, what's the problem, huh? A 30-year-old should be able to date and marry and have children with a 16-year-old. What's the problem? It's only 14-year difference. When I'm 50, she'll be 36. This is what we got going on. Epstein liked young women, not children. See that? See that right there? Mm-hmm. What was it? This is what it is. Mm-hmm. ICE needs to stop attacking kids. I agree. Yes. Wild work. Attacking children. Y'all are what? What are you talking about? Nick Fuentes is basically Charlie Kirk, but more vocal about being a Nazi. Yeah. He's that. ISIS and attacking kids. They are not children. See that? A 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. They're not children. Okay. See? This is what I want. I want everybody to see this. This is what we got going on in the world right now. This is what? Right here. But the point is, Nick Fuentes said barely legal. In my view, that means you're talking about 18. Why am I avoiding that? He said not legal. Are you an idiot? Hold on. Let's talk. Let's do this. See, he didn't say barely legal. That's not what he said.
You there. They were technically not legal. Trafficking 5-year-olds, it was like they were technically not legal.
No. The Jaka. Nick Fuentes said barely legal teens, periods. In my view, it means you talking about 18. In your view, you're an idiot. And in my view, you're an idiot. Why am I avoiding? I'm avoiding that because that's not what he said. Yeah, he didn't say barely legal. Let's do this.
They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal.
Technically not legal. That's what he said. Technically not legal. Exactly, Daniel. That's what they use. Nick will be POTUS someday. No, he won't. He didn't say barely legal. He said technically not legal. Exactly. Real Sheldon. Chomo. Yeah. Anyway, I'm about to get off this in a second, y'all. Ken RJ says, Snap, you got to love the hypocrisy from these groypers. Yeah, they're dumb. It's just the cognitive dissonance is out of control. What are you talking about? Get it straight. You're an idiot. Shit is sad, man.
Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there. Okay. The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy, probably working with Israel. That's the dilemma there. He's working with Israeli intelligence.
Technically not legal. And then he says barely legal teens. He meant barely not legal teens. That's what he meant. He said technically not legal. His position is teens should not be considered not legal. Yeah. In any room, the loudest one is going to be the one that's guilty, and that's why I know for sure that is Trump's list. It's not Epstein's list anymore. Trump owns the list. I guess you could have that position, but it's not just about Trump. It's a lot of people on that list that are never going to be found out. Right? That's the problem. Like, the elite class are still going to be running around doing what they want to do because that list won't come out, because they know if it does, it's going to be a problem for them. Probably. Right? Liberal fascists accusing normal Americans of being racist. What liberal? What liberal are you referring to? Please play the whole section video again, because I'll admit if I'm wrong about what he said. He said both. He said technically not legal, and then he said barely legal. He meant technically not legal. That's his position, right? Barely legal teens. There's no such thing as a barely legal teen, right? Either you're legal or you're not. There's no such thing as barely legal. Barely legal is not 18, right? You're legal or you're not. There is no barely legal. He said technically not legal.
Big difference in pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big
Technically not legal. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or Lily View says, I don't give a ham what party they belong to, talking like this. Absolutely. It is global anarchy television. Yeah. Yeah, it's global. That's the problem. But that was the point of what Epstein did, right? To keep all these people in line. Because he knew about and was involved in that nasty behavior. Someone says P. Diddy was just killed. Stop playing. Stop playing. A sick Dominic freak. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, got to get out of here. Got to do a little bit more work before I call it a day and hang out with the fam bam. But thank you guys for coming through. I really appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the like button. If you hit the like button, if you didn't, y'all can continue to hate watch. If you're not a hate watcher, just double tap that screen or hit the like button, whatever you want to do. Huh? I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate my moderators, Orange Lily for you, Latressa Montgomery, Anarchy Television, Anarchy, The Real Shelton, Flying Guillotine, PGH, Big Dog. Salute to you, brother. Salute to my brother, PGH. Salute to you. Thank you guys, man. We gonna get back at it. Y'all look out for me tomorrow. I'm gonna do a live stream. I'm going live with I Am Trill Will, the brother I Am Trill Will. It's gonna be some interesting conversations going on there. And thank you to the commenters. Thank you to Salty, Daniel, Cutthroat, Yeti. Salute to Yeti. Even though you're a hater, you know what you're talking about. Thank you for coming through. Metalhead. Salute to Metalhead. Thank you guys. Black Spring with Autumn. Always. Thank you. I appreciate you. And look, we really have to focus on protecting our children. They're the least protected class in the world, not just in this country. They're the least protected class in the world. The trafficking of children is really out of control. And we got to do something about it, right? We got to expose these clowns for who they are and focus on protecting our children. All right. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. See y'all tomorrow. He looks like he's about to crash out. Much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.